remember being here. I love it here.
Director Robert Zemeckis and actor Tom Hanks have reunited for their fifth film, an unusual drama titled Here. And this is our breakdown of the movie in 3 minutes or less. Be warned, major spoilers follow. The film features a unique style, as nearly the entire movie is a single static shot with a camera that never moves. With a focus on one spot of land in modern-day New England, the story unfolds as the environment and the people change, with the innovative use of split-screen techniques and overlays. The film begins in a forest during the dinosaur era and its destruction from a meteor. Time moves forward, from the Ice Age to the Colonial era, and then to the construction of the home that serves as the central setting of the film. The camera is set in the home's living room, so we see the lives of the home's inhabitants play out.
Hey, Dad. Like you to meet Margaret.
Nice to meet you, Margaret.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Young.
The film's main character is Richard, played by Hanks, but the story follows the history of the home from the turn of the century. Richard is first shown as an old man, preparing to sell the home. It then flashes back to the post-World War II era, as Richard's parents Al and Rose buy the home. The story moves forward to the 1950s as a young Richard and his siblings grow up in the house. The setting goes back and forth through time, highlighting the people who lived there even before the house was built. That includes the Native Americans who once lived on the land, the colonists who settled there, and the first inhabitants of the house. In the 1960s, Richard brings home a girlfriend, Margaret. When she gets pregnant, Margaret and Richard marry in the living room. Unable to afford their own place, the young couple lives in the house with Richard's parents. When Rose has a stroke and dies, Al moves to Florida and leaves the house to Richard and Margaret. Although they dream of building their own home after they have a daughter, their dreams are put aside and they stay in the home.
Do you think you can save it?
Save what?
Your marriage.
After Al's health declines, he moves back in with Richard and Margaret, which puts a strain on their marriage. An unhappy Margaret eventually leaves Richard because she feels unfulfilled in her life. After Al dies, Margaret begins to show signs of Alzheimer's, but never reconciles with Richard. Years later, Richard decides to sell the house, and Margaret returns to see the home one last time. She can't remember much, but as Richard describes their life together, the memories begin to return. In the final shot of the film, the camera begins to move for the first time, panning away from Richard and Margaret and out of the home. The surrounding neighborhood is finally shown and the film ends. And that's our recap of Here. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video, and thanks for watching.